From CNY Central, this is NBC3 News at 6. Presented in enhanced widescreen. Voted Best Newscast by the Syracuse Press Club for the second year in a row.
Good evening, I'm Dora Scheidel. Matt and Megan are off tonight. Here's what we're working for you on this Wednesday evening. Traditionally, the day after Christmas rivals Black Friday for bargain hunting as people go to the mall to return their unwanted Christmas gifts. We'll share some tips to make sure your trip to the mall is a little bit quicker.
It's just too much to fathom right now, just being able to see it for the first time.
Neighbors in Webster returned to find the charred remains of their homes after an ex-convict set a trap for firefighters on Christmas Eve. But first, it might not be snowing hard yet, but by this time tomorrow, we could see as much as 1 foot of snow on the ground. Right now, Governor Cuomo is getting ready to activate the State Emergency Operations Center. He said he would do that at 6 o'clock. The state is adding highway crews, state troopers, and equipment to respond to the storm. Cuomo has a stern warning for power companies after some failed to restore power to millions in a timely manner after Hurricane Sandy. The governor does not want neighbors to be in the dark for prolonged periods of time this time around. Right now, let's check in with meteorologist Matt Stevens out on the weather deck with what we need to know about how to get home safe tonight. How's it looking out there, Matt?
Well, hey there, Dora. Very good evening to you once again. How's it looking out here? Well, we can see from the Stanislaus Skywatch as we look live over downtown Syracuse that the snow isn't excessive at the moment. We have some light snow falling out here on the back weather deck, more decorative than anything, not even barely a nuisance at this time. However, there are folks in the viewing area who already have moderate to borderline heavy snow right now. I'll show that to you in the triple Doppler in just a moment. First things first, winter storm warnings up for the entire viewing area through Thursday afternoon or Thursday evening. Here's a loop scan of the triple Doppler with temperatures. We're hanging in the 20s for the vast majority of our viewing area. 27 in Syracuse, 21 over in Penn Yan, and 24 in Ithaca. Speaking of Penn Yan, moderate to heavy snow for you right now. Union Springs, the deeper shades of blue indicating the heavier snow as well. Moravia on down towards Groton, Dryden, Cortland, and Homer into the moderate to heavy snow down towards Marathon as well. We'll be in and out of periods of moderate to heavy snow this evening and overnight. Snowfall rates could exceed 2 inches per hour briefly for some folks. It's going to be blustery overnight, wind chills in the teens, blowing and drifting snow all likely. The snow starts to taper off. The steady snow at least starts to taper off by midday tomorrow. We'll call it more scattered snow showers by the end of tomorrow with a blustery high of 30 degrees. I'll be back with that complete 7-day forecast, Dora, including a look at some snowfall accumulation forecasts in just a couple of minutes.
Thank you, Matt. Looks like we're just going to have to wait in anticipation for the storm and stay inside if you can tonight.
Well, Dora, you don't have to wait too much longer. It's literally arriving as we speak. But yes, good advice. If you don't have to travel, it might be wise to hunker down.
Thank you, Matt. Well, now we're going to take a look at what's happening outside. Our Tom Eschen is at the intersection in Hydes, or near Hydes rather, where the parkway either starts or begins depending on which way you're headed. Tom, how is it looking so far? I know there are several parking restrictions.
Yeah, Dora, much like over on James Street there is a light snow falling here in Liverpool, here on Onondaga Lake Parkway. Traffic's moving pretty well at the moment, but as the conditions continue to deteriorate, the roads are going to get slick tonight. And with those plows on the roads, several local towns and cities are amping up their parking restrictions. In the city of Syracuse itself, Syracuse police are urging all city residents to use off-street parking if available. They are especially encouraged to follow odd, even parking regulations as well. And in the city of Oswego, Mayor Thomas Gillen is imposing the new alternate side parking restrictions, which will begin tomorrow morning at 1 a.m. And you need to be on the side of the street with the even house numbers on the even day and the odd ones on the odd days. And those restrictions are in place from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. every day until further notice now. In the town of Cicero police are asking residents in the town to not park on any street at any time until the storm is gone. And in the city of Utica, they've declared a snow emergency starting at 10 p.m. All cars must be off city streets with the snow emergency in effect until further notice. Now, here in Liverpool, the snow has begun to fall, and obviously you got to get out of the way of the plows tonight. Try to stay inside, just like as you guys are talking about a little bit earlier. We'll have all the updates for you as the night goes on, and check CNYCentral.com as well for the latest as always. But for now, reporting from Onondaga Lake Parkway, I'm Tom Eschen.
Thank you, Tom. Looks like it's not really coming down too much yet, but I'm sure it's only a matter of minutes. Thank you for that report, Tom. Well, the leading edge of this snowstorm has started, and it's falling in central New York just after 5 o'clock this afternoon. We are in the first hour of what forecasters believe is likely to be a 24-hour weather event in central New York. Our Alex Ruscilla has more on how road crews are preparing for their critical task of keeping the roads clear.
Parts of central New York could see up to a foot or more of snow when all is said and done. But crews are working round the clock to stay ahead of the snow.
Right now we're checking all of our equipment, shaking anything down, any problems that we might have to shake that out, repair anything that needs to be repaired. We're assuring that all of our equipment is fueled and ready to go for when the accumulation begins.
Now, although this road behind me doesn't look like it needs any plowing right now, that doesn't mean that Onondaga County is wasting any time.
Our people here, we're monitoring the situation all day long, and we try to make sure that those areas that may see the greatest amount of snowfall, they're ready and they got everything they need to take care of the storm.
It's always a challenge to tackle the first big snowfall of the season, no matter how much crews may prepare. One thing that makes it easier for them to clear the road is making sure you're driving smart.
Clear your windows, but that's the safest thing to do. I cringe when I see someone with their rear window covered in snow, or just a very tiny opening for them to see out.
Snow can fall at a very high density, putting another obstacle in the way.
Usually in an 8-hour shift, it is possible for us to hit them twice. And if it's really bad, perhaps a third time.
Stay off the roads as much as possible during the storm for your own safety and the safety of others. That's the best advice I can give you.
The best advice for safe travels. In Syracuse, I'm Alex Ruscilla.
Well, what may be bad news for road crews is good news for local ski resorts. Toggenburg Mountain in Fabius opened their slopes today. Toggenburg has already had a 12-foot base, and it expects at least a foot or more tonight. The snow is a welcome sight after last year's warm winter, which forced many local resorts, including Toggenburg, to close early.
There are 3 ski resorts within 10-15 miles of us, so this area, I mean, skiing's big, and it hurts everyone when we don't get the snow.
The snow also boosting sales at local hardware stores today, where snow shovels were a big seller. And don't forget, before you head out for work in the morning, tune in to Today in Central New York. Meteorologist Peter Hall and Lisa Spitz will keep you posted on all of the snow and weather-related cancellations in the earliest newscast in Central New York. And don't forget, you can track the storm on our website, cnycentral.com. Many tips have come in, but the case is still open, and the man who did this is still out there. Cicero police are still looking for the man who tried to abduct a 13-year-old girl outside the Walmart on Route 11 earlier this month. The girl told police this man drove around the parking lot following her and asked if she would be afraid to get in his car. He was driving this black SUV with blue and yellow New York plates. He's thought to be in his early 30s, of slim build. The man was wearing a black North Face fleece, had blonde hair and no facial hair. Neighbors along Lake Road in Webster are allowed to return to see what's left of their homes since an ex-convict started a fire, setting a trap for responding firefighters. On Tuesday morning, 62-year-old William Spangler shot 4 firefighters, killing 2 after setting the blaze that wiped out 7 homes and damaged 2 others. Police SWAT teams evacuated more than 30 neighbors early Christmas Eve. Bob Schroeder returned to find nothing left. He says it's just too much to fathom right now.
I mean, he was a little strange, but I never expected something of this magnitude to ever happen here.
Investigators say Spangler turned the gun on himself. His body was found near his home. Inside the home, human remains were found. Investigators think it's his sister who lived with him. Right now, they're awaiting autopsy results to find out whether she died in the fire or before. Meantime, as investigators continue to piece together what happened, we're learning more about the heroes. The flag at the West Webster Fire Department hangs at half-staff in tribute to the fallen firefighters. Mike Ciparini was a father to 3 and a police lieutenant. He taught young men like 19-year-old Tomasz Kachuku how to become a firefighter.
Mike was Firefighter of the Year. We just announced that 2 weeks ago, and it was for a reason. Tomaz, he was a young kid, but he was a leader in his own way. He was very energetic, very heartfelt. He put a lot of time and effort into this.
Calling hours for the men will be this Friday and Saturday at Webster High School. Their funerals are scheduled for Sunday and Monday. Firefighters Joseph Hofstetter and Theodore Scardino continue to recover at a Rochester hospital. More than 100 fire departments in Monroe County and the surrounding area are helping the West Webster Fire Department. It's asking acts of kindness be directed at others, including those who lost their homes. Many people not happy with their holiday gifts are back in stores again for returns. Coming up, we'll see how busy some of our local Mars are. Alex.
Christmas is over, but for many people, the holiday shopping season is just now kicking into high gear. I'm Alex Dunbar. The latest information is straight ahead.